Alright, so new final boss Sauriel came out 2 weeks ago on JP, and having played the final boss for the past few weeks, um, I think I have an idea that a lot of people did not like this new format. Because just from me playing, I not only on my regular Japanese account here, or on my I haven't got the chance from these difficulties yet, or on my free to play global account, I think that I kind of like some of the changes they've done. I really do like the difference between having two different coins, which I don't know how most people feel about that. And I also, of course, really like the fact that the costume works on both versions of Sauriel, and I really hope we get more than just the Archangels for these kinds of costumes. New costume for each of the sins that works on every single sin, stuff like that. All of the characters that are major characters can get like a version like this. But I don't like how they implemented difficulty in this boss. So before I'm gonna read out people's opinions, because I asked people what they think of the boss. I'm gonna air out what I think of this boss as like constructive criticism slash feedback for this boss. And if you've been playing the boss, you can also let me know in the comments as well. But I think the way they created difficulty in challenge mode was terrible. I like how also the recommended characters cannot clear challenge mode. There's no way you're clearing challenge mode with Blue Lost Vein. Not happening. I mean, it's not happening. I can see Mono, because Mono is actually pretty strong, but not some of these. Challenge mode can be harder, right? There can be a harder difficulty than Hell. But I hate that they went with 20% damage cap. Now, okay, where is it? This one. Damage cap is something they've implemented into the game because they realized that they don't want to make the health bars like super long, like 10 million HP. But also, they don't want characters to be able to one-shot bosses anymore, like we used to do with Red Derriere. So damage cap. Okay. 35% damage cap is a little bit annoying when it comes to, multiple phase battles, stuff like that. But understandable when you have a very, difficult last phase that can be one-shot by Triller Meliodas. 20% damage cap is insane. Anyone that doesn't have Festival King or 6/6 Rimuru, stuff like that, realize how stupid this is when it comes to the fact that 20% damage cap, also including on the fact that Sauriel basically full heals every single time he attacks you. It's like, what? Why? Do they really want like people that don't have Festival King to suffer? You don't need like Festival King to block the attack so that it doesn't heal, and you don't need 6/6 Rimuru to cheese the fight. But if you don't have those, you might have realized how annoying it is. You can beat it. I've done it without either of those. It doesn't even feel worth it. It's just so long. The battle is so long, and that comes in with the maybe the worst negative is like the amount of coins you need. But when it comes to difficulty, I really hope they find a good balance of making activities challenging, but not too annoying. Challenging doesn't need to be annoying. 20% damage cap is not challenging. It's just annoying. But yeah, I think implementation of damage caps needs to be either toned down or changed on its approach. Now the shop. The shop is probably what I think people hate the most. I haven't read it yet, but I think it's what people were gonna hate the most. You get like what? I forgot. I should have checked. Like 8 to 12 coins each time you do hell, and it costs 50 stamina. So you need to not hell, sorry, challenge. It costs 50 stamina. So you need to 8 to 12 go crazy on those stamina pots to clear out the shop, because this costs 100 of the challenge. I haven't even bought it yet because I was like, I'll just leave it for the next day. Oh, for the last day. Yeah, you need to clear out the whole shop with the costume and also the gloves as well. The gloves cost the helmet coins, which is not so expensive, but the actual outfit costs 60 as well. a lot of runs on challenge mode, which you can also do on hell, but on hell is even worse because you need like 10 of this coin for one. So it's like 100 of this for like 10. It's so bad. It's so bad. The amount of runs you need to do was just too many. You know, on final boss, you do need to do a decent amount of runs. You know, you do need to grind the event before an activity that, you know, if you don't have Festival King and you don't have 6/6 Rimuru, can go for so goddamn long because of the healing plus damage cap. It's questionable. So let me pull up. I want to see how people think about it. Challenge mode is more demanding but more satisfying. Just exchange price, yeah. Literally what I thought, first comment, exchange prices should be lowered. That, I'm telling you, the SSR card, 100 coins, it's like, oh, that's only 10 runs on challenge, technically. If you average out, they maybe get 10 per run, right? Only 10 runs. If you don't have Festival King, 10 runs are long. They're long. They could be hours. They could be genuinely hours. It's rough. Decent fun at the same time. The 20% cap is really awful. Not a bad idea, and I love the cosmetics. Yep. Fun challenge, but all items in the shop are overpriced for the difficulty, but that damage cap is low-key annoying. The cosmetics are epic. Hell yeah. It makes me excited. Again, I know that's, you know, confirmation that all the archangels are going to be getting this, but I want the sins, I want the commandments, I want everyone that's like any relevant. I want the Ragnarok characters to get final bosses. I want the Catastrophe characters to get final bosses. Just make a new final boss every single month so that we can get gems out of it. Like, come on. There's a challenge, and with them doing this, I hope they redo the old fight. Yep. Damage cap. Damage cap is the worst, for sure. Also, 20% damage cap. Damage caps, you know, I'm not 100% opposed to damage capping because of what I mentioned, you know. Characters are very strong, lookers are very strong, and if you could one-shot the boss, it would almost like make it not even like a difficult event whatsoever, right? It'd just be like difficulty 0. But at the same time, 20% is horrible. He basically has both Tormil links, green and red Elizabeth healing cards. He does heal too much. The worst part for me actually is when he puts on the counter. His counter full heals him essentially, and when the stance leaves, he full heals. So either you he full heals or he full heals. There's no you know. Damage cap is now trying to make more things that they can sell specific units. I'm afraid the next ones will have way worse gimmicks. I don't think there's a worse gimmick in the game on the damage cap that they can put in a boss. I mean, there's like a lot of gimmicks, like demonic beast gimmicks, like, you know, with dogs, having to kill both at the same time is a bit of an annoying gimmick. With deer, the wheel thing's an annoying gimmick, but I think with final boss, there's not really much they can do other than damage capping. That's incredibly annoying. And even, you know, even then, when it comes to, you know, the damage cap, the best characters to use for points, you know, Festival King, Liz, they don't really like bypass damage cap or anything like that. It's more about, you know, that healing that's more annoying, which is why, like, they have been saying that, like, they want to make challenging activities that aren't like character specific, that don't like require specific characters, but this really felt like you were required to have Festival King. Like, you could beat it without Festival King. I've done it, but it just felt horrible doing without Festival King. Or, you know, again, Rimuru, stuff like that. Pretty fun. Final boss is hard, makes it work for it. Also, in designs, Final boss makes you look forward to what's coming next. Oh, a completely positive comment. Again, I say this is a hard Final boss. It is hard. I've lost on my JP account, which is, you know, it's crazy. But I think it's the annoying kind of hard. Where I think the difficulty of Bird at launch was good. I don't know. The difficulty of this final boss comes down to, do you have Festival King? No? Lamau. That's basically it. Better than the previous final bosses, to be honest, but the prices are too much. Yep. We see if any more with upvotes. Actually, a few hundred comments on this one. I can't read all of them, of course, but damage caps, high difficulty, difficult RNG was too much to pull through. Cosmetics 10 out of 10, difficulty 9 out of 10, okay. Shop 3 out of 10, yeah, the prices are terrible. So, I mean, what do you guys think? I think I do like the change between how Final Bosses used to be. With, again, the costumes working everywhere. I hope they stop making the super easy final bosses that were filler. Those final bosses sucked. Like the Gilla final boss, like, no offense to Twigo, but Twigo final boss sucks. Because it didn't come with a cosmetic. Eventually they did give Twigo's cosmetic, right? But it doesn't, it never came with a cosmetic for the actual character, right? That you're fighting against. And, you know, it just felt like a waste of time. You do get the gems, which was cool, but I much prefer them bringing like this. And if they pump these out, it's just more rewards for the players. Because you only need to be top 50%, which I didn't even talk about this. But really, like, if you cannot beat challenge, I don't even know if you can get top 50%. But if you can at least beat challenge, you're basically guaranteed to be top 50%, which will get you the costume and the gems, right? Where is it? Here. Yeah, it will guarantee the costume and the gems. If you just can beat challenge, which is nice. Because I think it used to be 30%, and the gems were like also 30. I don't recall, but looking forward to see what's coming next for final bosses, and hope they find a better way. But listen, all I'm saying is, be prepared. The Tarmiel final boss is gonna have Tarmiel Link, so you can't attack him twice, and because you're gonna be disabled. It's gonna happen, and he's gonna, you know, he's gonna heal every time you attack him, and every single time he attacks you, he's gonna heal, and he's gonna have 20% damage cap. So be prepared for that boss. It's gonna be amazing.